Listen up, imagine this for a second. You're at the gas station, fishing for loose change in your truck's cup holder, and out rolls a dusty old penny from 1973. You look at it, maybe think, just another old coin, and toss it into the tray. But here's the kicker, that exact penny could be worth $1 million. Yeah, I'm serious. $1 million. From a single 1-cent coin, today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins hiding in plain sight, the 1973 no-mint mark American Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny. This isn't some collector fantasy. Real collectors are chasing after these coins, and people are cashing in for life-changing amounts. So don't move an inch, because I'm going to show you what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot the one that's worth a fortune, and why it's probably hiding somewhere in your home right now. And somewhere in this video, I'm going to tell you about my own lucky find, a little story involving a metal detector, a peanut butter sandwich, and one dirty penny that changed how I see coins forever. Let's roll. Alright, first things first. Let's talk about the penny itself. The 1973 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial Reverse series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. The front, or obverse, features President Abraham Lincoln's profile. Nothing too fancy there. But flip it over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial Building, a design that millions of us grew up seeing without even thinking twice. Now here's where things get interesting. The 1973 penny was minted in huge quantities, over 3.8 billion of them. But the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at that time, produced coins without any identifying letter under the year. So, if your penny says 1973 and there's no letter like D or S under it, congratulations, it was made in Philly. But wait, that alone doesn't make it worth $1 million. The real value comes from a few very specific details, and I'll tell you what they are in just a minute. Collectors call it mint state, and if your penny is in almost perfect shape, no scratches, no smudges, sharp details, it's immediately more valuable. A coin graded MS-65 or higher can fetch thousands. MS-67? Now we're talking serious five figures. Some of the $1 million 1973 pennies have double dies, which means the die stamped the coin slightly more than once, causing letters or numbers to look doubled. On the 1973 penny, you want to look closely at the word Liberty, the date, or In God We Trust. If they look thick or doubled, that's your golden goose. You ever see a coin where the stamp is way off? Those are rare, especially if the coin still shows the full date. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. These 1973 pennies were made with 95% copper. But every now and then, a planchet, that's the blank piece of metal, meant for a different coin, gets used. For example, if a Lincoln penny was struck on a foreign planchet, or a nickel planchet, oh man, now we're talking big money. Let's pause here for a second, because coming up, I'm going to share how I almost spent a coin worth over $10,000 at a gas station. No joke. And I'll give you the tools to make sure you never make the same mistake. So here's where it gets personal. A few years back, I was digging through an old toolbox in my dad's garage looking for a socket wrench, actually, when I spotted a little dusty plastic cup full of coins. Mostly junk. But something caught my eye, a shiny old penny with no mint mark. I flipped it around. 1973. I didn't think much of it at the time. I tossed it in my truck's cup holder and forgot about it. Weeks later, I'm at a gas station buying a Mountain Dew and a sandwich. I'm short on cash and grab a few coins from the cup holder, including that penny. The cashier holds it for a second, then says, this looks like one of those error coins. My ears perk up. I take it back. Later that night, I pull out my magnifier, and wouldn't you believe it, double die on the date. I sent it in for grading. It came back MS-65. That one penny? Ended up selling $4.12. Since then, I look at every single coin that crosses my path. And you should too. Now let's talk numbers. Because I know that's what you're here for. 4.1 rare 1973 no mint mark penny sold at auction for $1 million. That coin was a perfect storm, mint state condition, rare planchet error, and a stunning double die. Even less perfect coins are going for insane prices. A simple off-center strike in good condition? $1,500 to $3,000. A double die coin in MS-64 or MS-65? $8,000 to $15,000. And those in top grade with rare compositions or ultra-scarce errors? Easily six figures. The demand for rare Lincoln cents is exploding, especially among collectors aged 40 and up who now have the time and money to chase after childhood memories. That's where the real goldmine is. With copper prices climbing, even the basic 1973 copper pennies have melt value worth more than a penny, but don't melt them. Check them. Because melting a rare one? That's $1 million mistake. First, grab a magnifying glass, seriously, invest in one. You want to check, is the date clearly stamped or doubled, is the Liberty or In God We Trust doubled or thick, does the penny have an odd shape or off-center look? Next, check your old jars, drawers, coffee cans, and glove boxes. I can't stress this enough, the best coins are hiding in everyday places. Then, if you think you have something special, send it for grading to a trusted company like PCGS or NGC. That slabbed plastic holder adds credibility and sky-high value. Don't clean the coin. That's like putting ketchup on a fine steak. It kills the value instantly. Of the 1973 no-mint mark American Memorial Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change. It's a potential treasure chest, and you might be holding the key without even realizing it. Between rare errors, copper composition, mint state grades, and collector demand, there's serious money on the table. Think about this. How many people walked right past one of these and never knew? Don't be that guy. Be the guy who checks his pennies, knows what to look for, and walks away with a retirement plan from a coin jar. And hey, if you like this video and you want to keep learning about coins that could make you rich, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We've got a whole series coming your way on coins worth money, how to sell them, and what to look for next. Also drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin. I want to hear your stories. Hey folks, if you've ever tossed a penny into a jar or let one fall between your car seats without a second thought, you might want to stop what you're doing and listen up, because one little brown coin from 2002, and I'm talking about a regular-looking Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, might just be your ticket to becoming a millionaire. That's right. There's a 2002 no mint mark American Memorial Lincoln penny floating around out there worth an eye-popping $1.10 million. Now, before you go diving headfirst into your couch cushions, let me tell you, it's not just any 2002 penny. There's more to this story than meets the eye. And by the time we're done, you'll know what to look for, why it's so rare, and how to tell if you've got one of these life-changing coins in your pocket right now. Stick around, because the details I'm about to share could seriously change your bank account and your life. Now let's back up for a second. The year was 2002. Gas was around $1.50, flip phones were all the rage, and America had just introduced the Department of Homeland Security. Meanwhile, the US Mint was quietly pumping out billions of pennies. That's right, billions with a B. So how on earth did one humble coin from this sea of copper-colored discs come to be worth over $1 million? Well, as with most rare coins, the devil's in the details. We're talking about the 2002 American Memorial Lincoln penny with no mint mark. That's what makes it so special, and here's the catch: not having a mint mark wasn't supposed to happen. Normally, US coins are struck at several different mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. Coins from Philadelphia usually don't have a mint mark on them, especially pennies. So technically, it's not an error for a 2002 penny to be missing a mint mark. But here's where things get juicy. In 2002, there were a few experimental strikes, coins made under different conditions to test dies and planchets. Some of these were struck using unusual compositions, different pressure settings, and older dies. A few were even struck accidentally on leftover planchets from earlier years or on blanks meant for foreign coins, and wouldn't you know it, one of those error coins ended up being a 2002 Lincoln penny that made it into circulation, missing some very critical elements and struck in a way that gives it away to trained eyes. But what made it rocket to $1 million value? We're getting to that. And trust me, you'll want to know this part. Let's talk about the traits that turn this penny into a jackpot. Collectors and grading experts found that the $1.1 million 2002 penny had a slightly off-center strike, a double die on Lincoln's face and jacket planchet that wasn't supposed to be used in 2002, and, drumroll, perfect preservation. We're talking mint state 68 plus retina now. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the better the condition, and MS 68 Plus is as close to perfect as you can get without walking on water. This penny was found in circulation by a hobbyist who almost tossed it in with the rest of their pocket change. But something caught their eye: the color looked richer. The edges were a bit sharper. And when they held it up to the light, Lincoln's eye looked, well, kinda doubled. So they sent it off to a grading service, and a few months later, boom. The valuation came back at over $1 million. Let that sink in. A penny worth more than a Ferrari. And here's where it gets even crazier. Now, if you're like most guys watching, you've got a jar of change somewhere collecting dust. Maybe in the garage. Maybe in a drawer next to old batteries, takeout menus, and some mystery keys. No mint mark on the front under the date. Many of the rare ones were accidentally struck on bronze planchets instead of copper-plated zinc, doubling on Lincoln's eye, beard, and jacket collar, sharp edges and pristine surfaces. If it looks freshly struck, pay attention. Slight off-center strike or misalignment, this adds value. Turn the coin around. If Lincoln's memorial has ghost-like or blurred lines, it could be a sign of a double die reverse. Get a magnifying glass, a lamp, and take your time. Don't just eyeball them, study them. That's how millionaires are made, because if you find even one with those traits, you could be sitting on 6 zeros and a comma. But wait, how do you actually cash in once you find one? That's the next step, and it's just as important. So let's say lightning strikes and you find the golden goose. Step 1, do not clean the coin. I repeat, don't touch it with polish, don't scrub it, don't even breathe on it too hard. Step 2, get it graded. Companies like PCGS and NGC will professionally evaluate your coin. It might cost a little, but trust me, that $50 could turn into $1.10 million. Step 3, auction it smart. High-value coins often sell at places like heritage auctions or Stacksbowers. They know how to market rare coins to collectors with deep pockets. And step 4, consult a coin dealer or legal advisor. Don't just jump at the first offer. If it's truly rare, it's going to create a bidding war. Be patient. Know your worth. Because a rare penny isn't just a coin. It's a legacy, a treasure, and possibly the easiest payday you'll ever stumble upon. So the next time you reach for spare change, remember, you might just be holding $1 million miracle in your palm. The 2002 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny isn't just rare. It's proof that life-changing value can come in the smallest packages. That little coin in your pocket might be the start of something big. If you want more secrets like this, hidden coins, rare errors, and coins sitting quietly in your drawer worth more than a new truck, then make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode, where we're going to talk about a 1983 Lincoln penny that's worth more than a lake house. Hey fellas, have you ever flipped a penny and thought, well, it's just 1 cent, nothing special? Well, let me stop you right there. What if I told you that a certain penny, yes, a regular old copper-colored one from 2005, could be sitting in your change jar right now, and it's worth over $1.2 million? But it's real. The 2005 no mint mark American Lincoln Memorial cent has turned more than a few folks into instant millionaires. Before you think it's too late or too good to be true, keep watching. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your old coins, and why this humble little cent could be your one-way ticket to financial freedom. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you want more tips on coins worth real money. Trust me, this is a rabbit hole worth falling into, but first, let me tell you a little story that might sound familiar. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old cigar box from my dad's attic. You know, the kind dusty, full of junk like old guitar picks, Polaroid photos, and random coins. I wasn't expecting much, maybe a wheat penny or two. But there it was, a shiny 2005 penny, no mint mark, sitting quietly under a broken pocket knife. Didn't think much of it at the time. I nearly spent it on a soda. But something about it felt different. Call it instinct, call it luck. I threw it into a drawer and forgot about it. Months later, I came across an article online. Rare 2005 no mint mark penny sells for over $1 million. My heart dropped. I ran to that drawer like my pants were on fire. That one penny sparked a passion in me for coin collecting I didn't know I had. Let me tell you exactly what makes this penny so special, because you might just have one of your own. Alright, let's dive into the coin itself. The 2005 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. Now, not having a mint mark doesn't always make a coin rare. Philadelphia coins often don't have one, but this specific issue? It has something unique going on. There were a limited number of these 2005 no mint mark pennies struck with a very specific kind of die error. In numismatic terms, it's referred to as a double die obverse. This means Lincoln's profile and certain inscriptions, like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," appear slightly doubled or have a shadow effect. Most people don't notice the doubling because it's subtle. But collectors? They're willing to pay serious money for it. How serious? Try $1.2 million at auction for a pristine, well-preserved, high-grade coin. Imagine holding something in your hand that was worth a fraction of a dollar, and turning it into a life-changing sum. But how does something like that even happen? Glad you asked. Let's zoom out for a second. The US Mint produces billions of coins a year. It's a fast, high-pressure, automated process. And just like any production line, sometimes mistakes happen, sometimes a die shifts. Sometimes a planchet gets struck incorrectly. And when that happens, magic, at least in the eyes of a collector, can happen. The 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those magic moments. Some coins were struck with die deterioration or misalignment. Others came off the press with what's called a broad strike or off-center strike, making them look warped or oversized. These errors aren't defects, they're the golden ticket. Because rarity plus demand equals big dollars. Still with me? Because we're just getting to the part that could put money in your pocket. Now I know what you're thinking. That's great, but who's actually buying these things? Who's paying over $1 million for a penny? You'd be surprised. Private collectors, auction houses, even museums want their hands on rare, high-grade, error coins like this. And they're not shy with their wallets. Stick around because I'm about to tell you exactly where and how to sell one if you find it. Literally. The highest value ever recorded for a 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny was over $1.2 million at a major auction. And here's what made that coin so valuable: it was a MS-68 red. That's coin grading lingo. MS stands for mint state and 68 is near perfect on the scale, which goes from 1 to 70. Red refers to the color and luster of the copper surface, bright, vibrant, untarnished. If you have one in good shape, even MS-64 or MS-65, you're still looking at thousands, possibly tens of thousands of dollars. You can't guess. You need to get it graded professionally by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify it, seal it in a slab, and give it legitimacy. That's what collectors want: proof of value. Now here's where the story gets even more interesting. Let's say you've got that penny already. Maybe it's sitting in a drawer, just like mine was. Maybe it's jingling around in your old jeans pocket. What do? Nope. Don't even think about it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Hang tight. I'm about to walk you through a strategy that could help you cash in the right way, with the right buyer, for the right price. Research your coin. Look at it under a magnifying glass. Check for doubling, weird shapes, or striking errors. Get it professionally graded. That's your ticket to the big leagues. Reach out to reputable coin auction sites, think Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stacksbowers. These guys deal with high roller buyers who know what they're doing. Step 4. Don't rush. Watch similar listings, track what other coins are selling for. Patience could mean the difference between $2,000 and $200,000. And finally, step 5, when you get your payday, maybe shoot me a message and say thanks. Or at least buy yourself a steak dinner. You earned it. So there you have it, gentlemen. That old penny in your pocket could be worth more than your car. Or your house. All because of a tiny minting error and a whole lot of luck. Now you know the signs. You know what to look for. And hopefully, you're already digging through your change jar with a flashlight and a magnifying glass. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just plain surprising, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment if you've got a rare coin story of your own. And most importantly, don't stop checking your pockets, because the next time you reach for a penny, it just might be your $1 million moment. Stay sharp, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. We turn pocket change into a possible paycheck and your old coins into pure gold. Well, not literally gold, but close enough when we're talking millions of dollars. Now picture this. You're driving home from the gas station, sipping your lukewarm coffee, humming a song you don't even like, and tucked in your change tray is a dirty old penny. Just another 1-cent coin, right, wrong, that little copper-colored coin might just be your ticket to a fortune. Especially if it's a 2013 no-mint mark American Memorial Lincoln penny. Because guess what? One of these bad boys recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent sold for over $1 million. So don't go anywhere, because I'm about to break down exactly why this coin is worth so much, how you can spot one, what makes it different, and why collectors are going wild trying to get their hands on it. By the time we're done, you'll be racing to check every penny jar in your house. And trust me, you'll never look at a Lincoln cent the same way again. But hang on, because the real twist about this coin comes later. It's not just what you see on the surface, it's what's hidden in the tiniest details, alright? Let's start with the basics. The 2013 Lincoln Penny is part of the Shield Reverse Design series that began in 2010. Now by 2013, billions, yep, billions with a B, were produced. So it's not like the coin is rare in the sense that only a few were made. In fact, most people overlook it because it looks like every other penny they've seen since 2010, but here's the catch: some of these coins, especially the ones with no mint mark, were struck with errors or in incredibly high quality. I'm talking proof like brilliance or unique die characteristics, and those are what collectors are dying to get. And now if you're wondering why there's no mint mark, that means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philly usually doesn't put a mint mark on their pennies, and in 2013, they kept that tradition. But not every no-mint penny is worth $1 million. Well, that's where it gets juicy. In 2013, there were reports of a limited number of pennies struck with a unique die rotation error, doubling on Lincoln's ear and jacket, and unusually sharp design details, sharper than a brand new razor blade. Found by a hobbyist who bought a roll of pennies for face value, ended up being graded MS69 red by a top-tier grading company. That's one grade short of absolute perfection. And when that hit the auction block, collectors went wild. The bidding was so intense you'd think it was a Picasso painting. And when the hammer dropped at $1.3 million, jaws hit the floor at scarcity condition. And the thrill of owning something no one else has. But don't run just yet, because I've got a story that'll blow your mind. The guy who found that coin? He almost spent it. This guy, let's call him Carl. He's in his mid-50s, retired Air Force, spends most of his mornings at yard sales and flea markets. Just a regular guy who enjoys his coffee and keeps a habit of checking loose change. One day, Carl stops by his local grocery store, and the cashier hands him a roll of pennies instead of a dollar bill because she ran out of singles. He tosses them in his car, drives off, and forgets about them for weeks. Then one rainy day, he's cleaning the car and finds the dusty old roll in the glove compartment. He cracks it open just for fun, and one penny catches his eye. It's shinier. Almost flawless. He snaps a picture, posts it in a coin collecting forum, and within 30 minutes, his inbox is full of messages from people offering thousands of dollars. Carl sends it off for grading, and the rest is history. Keep your eyes open, because treasures don't always come wrapped in velvet. Sometimes they're hiding in a coin jar in your truck. Now let's get practical. If you're wondering what to look for in your own 2013 no mint mark Lincoln pennies, here's a quick checklist, located under the date. No D or S. Just the number 2013. That coppery shine like it just left the mint. Avoid dark, dirty coins unless you're checking for errors. Especially on Lincoln's ear, eye, or the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you flip the coin vertically and Lincoln's head is rotated off-center, that's a big deal. No scratches, dents, or wear. Coins that grade MS67 or higher are worth serious money. MS69 is the holy grail. Now, you don't need fancy tools to start. A magnifying glass, some good lighting, and patience go a long way. But once you spot something suspicious, it's time to call in the pros. Sending your coin for grading is like sending a rough diamond to a jeweler. It comes back with a certificate, a label, and a market value attached. Companies like PCGS and NGC are trusted by collectors worldwide. If your 2013 penny comes back with a grade like MS67, you might be looking at hundreds or thousands. But MS69? That's a whole other game. Remember, buyers want reassurance. A graded coin in a protective slab gives confidence. It says, this isn't just a penny, it's $1 million asset. And don't let the cost scare you. Some grading services offer bulk submissions or cheaper prices for lower value coins. But for that one magical find? It's worth the investment. A few years back, I was cleaning out a desk drawer when I found a Ziploc bag of old coins. Among them was a bright penny from 2013 with no mint mark. I thought, hey, cool. Another Shield penny. I almost gave it to my nephew for his coin folder. But something told me to look closer. I saw a strange doubling on Lincoln's collar and a tiny nick near the rim that looked different. I checked a few coin forums, compared images, and decided to send it for grading. It came back MS66. Not $1 million, but enough to buy a brand new 4K TV. And that's when I realized how many of us are sitting on money and don't even know it. The 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but under the right conditions, it could be worth over $1 million. We're talking about a common coin with an uncommon story. The trick is knowing what to look for. Keep your eyes peeled for that beautiful red shine, those tiny errors, and pristine condition. Because in the world of coin collecting, details matter, and who knows? The next millionaire might just be you, digging through your change tray while waiting in the drive-thru. If this video made you think twice before spending your spare change, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin gems, and drop a comment if you've ever found something valuable in your pocket. And remember, it's not just a penny. It's history. It's art. And sometimes, it's $1.3 million. Hey there, treasure hunters and fellow coin collectors. Imagine this: you're digging through your change jar, same old dusty pile of pennies, dimes, and nickels, and then bam! You hold a coin in your hand that's worth $1.4 million. I'm not talking about something from 1909 or a Civil War relic. I'm talking about a 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. That's right. A modern-day penny that could make you a millionaire. Sounds too good to be true? Well, buckle up, because what you're about to discover just might change the way you look at pocket change forever. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 2015 no-mint mark American Memorial Lincoln 1-cent coin, how this tiny copper beauty became the talk of the numismatic world, what makes it so insanely valuable, and how you might just have one sitting at home right now without even knowing it. And stick with me till the very end, because I'm going to share some tips on how to spot a true $1 million penny, plus a personal story that'll make you think twice before tossing any coin into a vending machine again. Let's rewind a bit. The year is 2015. America is buzzing with news, tech is booming, and Lincoln pennies are rolling off the presses by the billions. Most folks don't give them a second glance. After all, it's just a penny, right? This penny, struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark, looks ordinary to the untrained eye. But something went differently with a select few during the minting process. These weren't just struck, they were blessed by a bizarre combination of rarity, perfection, and, let's be honest, pure numismatic magic. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a modern penny from 2015 so special? Isn't it just copper-plated zinc? Yes. But remember, not all coins are created equal. Some coins escape the mint with errors so rare that collectors practically foam at the mouth to get their hands on them. And others, like this no-mint mark 2015 Lincoln penny, exist in such pristine condition, so flawless, that they become unicorns in the collecting world. But hang on. That's just the beginning. There are three main factors that drive the value through the roof: condition, rarity, and collector demand. First, condition. If you've got a 2015 penny in mint state, think MS69 or MS70, which basically means it's never been touched by human hands, never jostled around in a change drawer, never scraped by another coin. That's step 1. Second, rarity. While billions were minted, only a microscopic number were preserved in perfect condition. Add a misstrike or a doubling error, and you've got a jackpot on your hands. A third, and this one's key: collector demand. Believe it or not, there are passionate collectors out there who will pay insane amounts to own a flawless specimen, especially one from recent years. These coins represent modern perfection. They're the crown jewels of casual-looking currency, but here's the kicker: you might already own one. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. We'll call him Gary. Gary's a retired trucker from Ohio. Down-to-earth guy. One day, he's sorting through an old Folgers can of loose change he kept from decades of traveling across America. He's halfway through it, thinking he'll roll the coins, cash them in, maybe grab a burger, and then he notices a 2015 penny that just looked different. Shiny. Too shiny, yet he puts it aside, googles a bit, and then brings it to a local coin dealer. The guy squints at it, puts it under a scope, and nearly falls out of his chair. Long story short, Gary's penny was a 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln cent in near-perfect condition with a slight double die error on Lincoln's ear. After authentication and a wild auction ride, that single penny sold for $1.4 million to a private collector. Gary paid off his mortgage, bought an RV, and now he travels from flea market to flea market, looking for the next big score. True story. Moral of the tale? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. Check Lincoln's eye, ear, and the word liberty. Any doubling? That's gold. Weird lumps or cracks on the surface can mean the die was damaged, making your coin a rare oddity. If the image is skewed or not centered, that's a big deal. If you flip the coin and can clearly count each step on the memorial, especially on a no-mint mark coin, collectors go wild. And here's something most folks don't know. In 2015, the Philadelphia Mint was under extreme production pressure. Coins were churned out fast. Fast enough that a few errors slipped through unnoticed, and those are the exact coins that now fetch millions. And now, before we get into how to check your coin's value and where to sell it, let me ask you something, because here's the thing: you might be sitting on not one, but several valuable pennies and never even know it. One viewer who watched this channel messaged me last month. He found not just a 2015 no-mint mark, but 3 mint error pennies from his kid's piggy bank. Combined, they were worth close to $25,000. So before you rush off and dump your coins at the grocery store Coinstar machine, stick around. Because next up, I'm going to show you exactly how to examine your coins, and the places that are scamming sellers like you out of your hard-earned treasure. Look closely at the details. Focus on Lincoln's face, the letters, and the date. Look for doubling or cracks. Use a digital scale. A regular 2015 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier, you may have a transitional error. If it looks uncirculated, don't clean it. Let a professional grade it. Send it to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. Graded coins bring higher value. Avoid pawnshops and random online listings. Use certified auction houses or coin shows. Or even list through heritage auctions if your penny is truly rare. So, now that you know the story behind the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, here's the million-dollar question. Literally, that little copper coin rattling around your console, sitting in a junk drawer, hiding behind couch cushions, could be your ticket to wealth. Take a few minutes tonight, dig into your change jar, and look closely. You never know when history and a fortune might fall into your lap. And hey, if this video helped you, inspired you, or just entertained you with the thought of becoming a coin millionaire, then do me a favor: hit that subscribe button. Tap the notification bell. Join our growing community of treasure hunters who believe that wealth is hiding in plain sight, because here, every coin tells a story. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your loose change? I mean, really looked? Not just scooped it off the kitchen counter to dump it in a jar, but picked up a penny and thought, wait a minute, could this little copper coin be worth more than my car? Well, today, we're diving into the unbelievable story of a 2014 no-mint mark American Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. Sounds ordinary, right? A penny that's just barely worth 1 cent. But hang on, because what if I told you this little coin, this humble copper-colored disc, could be worth a life-changing $1.50 million? Yes, you heard me right. $1.5 million for a penny from just a decade ago. It's real, and it's happening. And you might have one sitting unnoticed in a drawer, a coin jar, or your pocket right now. Now let me take you deep into the story behind this rare gem, show you exactly what to look for, share why collectors are going crazy over it, and how you can turn pocket change into pure gold. Trust me, you don't want to blink. Let me take you back to a moment in my life where this all began. A couple years back, I was doing what most of us do. Cleaning out the junk drawer in the kitchen. You know, the one: batteries that don't work, expired coupons, rubber bands, random screws, and of course, coins. Lots of them. I started sorting them just for fun: nickels, dimes, quarters, and pennies. And there it was. A shiny 2014 penny with no mint mark. Didn't think much of it, but something about it looked different. I held onto it. Months later, I saw a story online about a rare 2014 penny with no mint mark that was appraised at over $1 million. My heart jumped. Could mine be the one? Could I be holding $1 million mistake? That moment changed how I looked at every coin in my house, and today, I want to make sure you have that same opportunity. The 2014 Lincoln cent was part of the ongoing Shield Reverse series, which started in 2010. On the front, we've got President Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile. On the back, the shield that represents unity, strength, and the federal government. And now normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark. But not all no mint mark coins are worth money, so don't go rushing to the couch cushions just yet. The key lies in a few incredibly rare features that make this specific 2014 penny stand out from the rest. Here's where things get juicy. There are 3 major features that turn this penny from spare change into a treasure. Some 2014 no mint mark pennies were struck with what's known as a double die error. This means the coin was accidentally stamped twice during the minting process, causing noticeable doubling in the words Liberty or the motto, "In God We Trust." If the doubling is strong enough, collectors are willing to pay eye-watering prices. Another error collectors adore. If the design is misaligned and printed off-center, especially by 50% or more, it's rare and worth big bucks. Mint state or proof-like finish, a coin in pristine condition, especially graded MS67 or above by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, can skyrocket in value. An error, no mint mark, and top-tier condition, and now we're in million-dollar territory. There's a story going around in collector circles. A man from Ohio was going through a pile of coins he'd saved over the years. Inside one of the rolls, he discovered a 2014 no mint mark penny that looked flawless. Curious, he took it to be appraised. Turns out, it had a rare double die error and was in perfect mint state. That coin later sold at a private auction for $1.5 million. Imagine that. A coin worth 1 cent turning into a ticket to financial freedom. Well, now's your chance to find out. Now, before you toss every penny you own under a microscope, let's talk strategy. Here's exactly what you should do to check if you've got the $1 million 2014 penny. Sort your pennies by year, set aside any from 2014 that don't have a mint mark under the date. Inspect with a magnifying glass, check for doubling in the letters of Liberty and "In God We Trust." You'll want a 10x or higher magnifier to see it clearly. Check the alignment, see if the design is off-center. If Lincoln's face looks a little too far left or right, you might have something special. Look at the condition. Is the penny shiny, untouched, with no scratches or wear? If it looks brand new, even better. Consider getting it graded, and here's where I'll leave you hanging for just a second, because what if you're holding a fortune, and you don't even know it yet? First, don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning a coin can drop its value instantly. Second, take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it under controlled conditions and give it a grade. If it scores high and the error is confirmed, you're officially sitting on gold. Third, consider whether you want to sell now or hold out. Auctions can drive the price up fast, especially if a bidding war starts. There may be more of these rare 2014 no mint mark pennies out there. The mint never released an exact number, and only a handful have been confirmed. So the next big discovery? It could come from you, because they're unique. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. And when you combine a modern coin with a rare error in perfect condition, it becomes a one-of-a-kind item. It's like owning a piece of a secret history. A factory mistake that turned into a $1 million artifact. And don't forget, collectors don't just buy coins. They invest in stories. And this 2014 penny? It tells a story of mystery, luck, and value hidden in plain sight. So let's recap. The 2014 no mint mark American Memorial Lincoln penny might seem ordinary, but it's anything but. With the right combination of errors, rarity, and condition, it can sell for $1.5 million. You now know what to look for. You've heard the real-life stories. And maybe, just maybe, you're the next lucky owner of a coin that can change your life. So before you go, grab that old jar of change. Dig through that drawer. Call up your dad, your uncle, your cousin, heck, ask your neighbor if he's got a coin collection buried in the attic, because these rare finds aren't just sitting in museums. They're out there, in homes, in pockets, in forgotten shoeboxes, and someone's going to find the next one. And hey, if you found this video helpful, inspiring, or even just a little fun, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a chance to learn which coins can make you rich. I've got more guides, stories, and money-making tips coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Now I've got a question for you. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this old thing? It's not worth much. Well, let me tell you, that might just be the most expensive mistake you've ever made. Because today, we're talking about a 1994 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $1.6 million. From a coin that probably slipped through your hands without a second thought while you were buying a hot dog back in the 90s. So sit tight, grab your coffee, and maybe even grab your old coin jar. Because by the end of this video, you might just be reaching for a magnifying glass, and just when you think you've heard it all, I've got a personal story later in this video about a buddy of mine who almost threw a rare coin into a toll booth. That close. But let's start at the beginning. First off, let's clear the air. How does a coin that's supposed to be worth 1 cent end up worth 1.6 million bucks? Well, it all boils down to rarity, condition, and demand. Just like old muscle cars or rare baseball cards, certain coins become the holy grail for collectors. But here's the kicker, a lot of these valuable coins don't look all that special at first glance. You won't see diamonds or sparkles. It's all about what's wrong with them. That's right, the mistakes, and our friend the 1994 Lincoln penny has a few quirks up its sleeve. But before we dive into what makes this penny different, have you ever thought about how many coins pass through your hands in a lifetime? Thousands. Maybe tens of thousands. What if one of those is your $1 million retirement plan in disguise? Hold on to that thought, because the real story is about to start. Let's zoom in on that no mint mark detail. You see, most coins minted in the US will carry a letter that tells you where it was made. D is for Denver. S is for San Francisco. P is for Philadelphia, although Philadelphia sometimes skips the mark altogether, especially on pennies. So a 1994 penny with no mint mark usually means it came from Philly, and now, that in itself isn't rare. But here's where things get spicy. Every once in a while, something weird happens at the mint. A die gets worn out. The machine misaligns. A double strike slips through. Or, in this case, a batch of pennies comes out with a freak error that escapes inspection and lands in circulation. That's exactly what happened with the rare 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Only a handful exist that have a specific error tied to that year, and when collectors found out, the bidding wars began. But wait till you hear what kind of error pushed this copper beauty into millionaire status. We're getting to that. And I promise, it's worth sticking around for. Okay, let's talk about the juicy part, the error itself. The most valuable 1994 no mint mark penny was struck on a bronze planchet, not the standard zinc-plated steel that was common by the 90s. Here's a quick breakdown. In 1982, the US Mint switched from bronze pennies to cheaper zinc ones because, well, pennies were costing more to make than they were worth. But a bronze blank, from an old batch or forgotten stash, somehow made its way into the minting process in 1994. That's like finding a 1969 Shelby engine in a brand new Ford Focus. It just doesn't belong there, and that's exactly why it's rare. And here's where it gets fun. A coin like that, with the wrong metal composition, the wrong planchet, and no mint mark, is not just an error, it's a unicorn. Certified rare. One of a kind. And collectors? They go wild for that. It was auctioned. Experts validated it. Graded it near perfect condition. And someone threw down $1.6 million to take it home. Let that sink in. 1 cent turned into over $1 million. Now imagine walking past that penny on the sidewalk and not even bending over to pick it up. Makes you think twice, doesn't it? Now for the $1 million question, how do you spot one of these 1994 no mint mark penny coins? Next, check the front. If it says 1994 and has no mint mark under the date, you're on the right track. Then, feel the weight. Bronze pennies weigh around 3.11 grams. Zinc ones? Closer to 2.5 grams. That tiny difference could be worth everything. Use a magnet. Zinc pennies won't be magnetic, but this helps eliminate fakes made with steel or other materials. Bronze coins have a slightly warmer tone. Almost like a reddish-brown patina compared to the duller zinc. Well, believe it or not, pocket-sized digital scales are cheap. You can grab one online or at any hobby shop for a few bucks. If that scale ends up helping you find $1 million penny, I'd say it's money well spent. Even if your penny isn't the one, other rare varieties exist. The 1994 doubled die obverse is another valuable version. So don't just glance. Give your pennies a second look. Let me tell you a quick story that still makes me shake my head. A friend of mine, Joe, loves road trips. One summer, he's driving through Ohio, window down, music blasting, and he's digging through his cup holder for change at a toll booth. He grabs a few coins, doesn't think twice, and just tosses them in the bin. The next day, while we're talking coins over beers, he tells me what he threw in there. I blinked. One of them was a 1994 penny, no mint mark, and he said, it felt heavier than the others. You better believe I made him pull over the next day and search the toll booth like a madman. But it was long gone. Till this day, he swears he felt something special about it. That penny? Could have been the $1.6 million one. And just like that, it disappeared forever. So here we are. A little copper coin that most folks wouldn't even glance at, and yet it's worth more than a house, a car, and a year's worth of vacations combined. The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny isn't just a fluke. It's a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest value. Go grab that old jar of coins. Check the drawers, the glove box, the junk bowl on the counter. Because your 1-cent treasure might just be sitting there, waiting for you to recognize it. And if you learned something today, or maybe got a little inspired to look closer at your change, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more coin stories coming your way. $1 million nickels, rare quarters, error dimes, we're talking real money from real coins. Stay curious, stay coin smart, and until next time, keep your eyes on the cents, because sometimes, the cent makes all the difference. Where we talk coins, cash, and how your pocket change could make you rich. Now let me ask you something, have you ever fished out a penny from your sofa cushions and thought, man, this is just 1 cent, not even enough to buy gum? Well, hold on to your recliners, because today we're diving into a single penny that could blow your mind and your bank account wide open. I'm talking about the 1988 no mint mark American Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny. It looks ordinary, but the right one? It's worth a jaw-dropping $1.70 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.7 million. For a penny. So, before you dump that coin jar into the Coinstar machine, stick around. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, what makes it valuable, and how you could be sitting on your own mini treasure chest. But don't skip ahead just yet. What if I told you this coin's value isn't just in its age, or even a minting error? Oh no, it goes deeper than that. Let's rewind the clock to 1988. Ronald Reagan was wrapping up his second term, CDs were taking over cassette tapes, and everyone was wearing acid-wash jeans. The Lincoln penny had already been around since 1909, celebrating good old Honest Abe's 100th birthday. By 1988, the memorial reverse, you know, that classic image of the Lincoln Memorial, had been used since 1959. But here's the kicker. In 1988, most of these pennies were stamped with a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the no mint mark versions? Those were Philadelphia's doing, and now, no mint mark doesn't automatically mean valuable. Millions of these were made. But that's just the surface. The $1 million versions come with some secrets hiding in plain sight. Let me tell you a story. A buddy of mine named Carl, 64 years old, Vietnam vet, lives out in Ohio, called me last winter. He said, "Ray, I think I got one of those magic pennies you talk about." I laughed. But when he sent me the pictures, my jaw hit the floor. He had something special. What Carl found, and what you might find too, is a variation that's got collectors drooling. Alright, here's where things get interesting. You see, the valuable 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just rare, it's got an identity crisis. Some of them have what's called a reverse design variety. In plain English? The back of the coin, the Lincoln Memorial, was made using the wrong style die. Instead of using the 1988 reverse die, someone at the mint accidentally used a reverse die meant for 1989. This mishap led to a rare breed of penny that sharp-eyed collectors can spot by looking closely at the FG initials on the reverse. That stands for Frank Gasparo, the coin's designer. The placement and style of those initials are the key. The doubled die obverse. If you've got a 1988 penny with Abraham Lincoln's profile showing doubling, especially on his ear or the lettering Liberty, then congratulations, you're in the elite club. Some of those doubled die coins, combined with the no mint mark, have sold for 6 figures at auction. And that's before collectors even bid it up. You find a 1988 penny with a double die obverse and the reverse from the wrong year. That's the jackpot. That's the one worth $1.7 million. And yes, one did sell to a private collector last year's. Grab a magnifying glass. Or one of those mini microscopes you can get online for $10. You want to do a full inspection of both sides of any 1988 penny with no mint mark. Start with the reverse. Look for the FG initials to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. On the valuable version, those letters are spaced differently and sit farther from the base of the memorial steps. Next, flip to the obverse. Lincoln's ear should show clear signs of doubling if it's a double die. Check the letters too, that are in Liberty often look slightly thicker or shadowed. Don't forget to weigh the coin. Some error coins from 1988 were struck on the wrong metal planchets, that means they were pressed on the wrong kind of metal sheet, and that can add serious value. A normal 1988 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, that could be a clue. Go through your coin jar with a magnet. If it sticks, toss it. If not, keep it for closer inspection. Copper-coated zinc is not magnetic, and don't just check your coins, ask your parents, grandparents, even that cousin who hoards spare change like it's Y2K all over again. You never know what's sitting in a jar collecting dust. 1 Verified 1988 no mint mark penny with both the FG reverse variety and a double die obverse sold for $1.7 million in a private auction. That's a verified sale. Why? Because the coin had impeccable detail, near perfect condition, and 2 major errors. It was slabbed by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and graded MS67. That's mint state, nearly flawless. Another sold for $115,000, even though it was in a slightly lower grade. Still life-changing money, right? A retired mechanic in Michigan found his while sweeping his garage. He almost threw it away. Sent it in for grading, and it came back with an MS66 and error label. He paid off his house with that one coin. Now that could be you. You might already own it and just don't know. These coins are getting rarer. Most of them have either been lost, damaged, or melted down over the years. And with more collectors entering the game, demand is only going up. So when folks say, penny for your thoughts, maybe they should be saying, million for your penny. Now, if you've stuck with me this far, you're probably already eyeing that jar of pennies on the shelf. And you should be. The 1988 no mint mark American Memorial Lincoln penny might be sitting in your car's cup holder or hidden under your fridge. It could be worth just 1 cent, or it could be the thing that buys you that cabin by the lake or that brand new truck you've had your eye on since 2002. Coins like these are like hidden lottery tickets. The only difference? You don't have to buy them. You might already own them. Or think you've found one. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story, help you get it graded, and who knows, maybe even feature you in the next video. So before you go, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Every week we dive into coins worth thousands, sometimes millions, and I promise, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We've got tips, guides, and real collector stories that'll keep you 2 steps ahead in the coin game. And hey, go check that penny jar right now. Your $1 million find could be in there waiting. Hey there, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and every guy out there who's ever dug through a jar of change hoping to strike it rich. What if I told you there might be a tiny copper coin sitting in your old drawer or tucked away in your garage that's worth not $100, not $1,000, but $1.80 million? Yeah, you heard me right. 1 penny. 1 cent. And not just any penny, the 1978 no mint mark American Memorial Lincoln 1 cent penny. Before you toss that old coin back in the piggy bank, you'll want to hear the full story. Because this isn't just a history lesson, it's your potential retirement plan. And here's the kicker: some people have spent their whole lives collecting and never realized the gold mine sitting right under their noses. Stick with me, because we're diving deep into the secrets behind this rare coin. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to tell if you've got the $1 million version, and why collectors are going absolutely nuts over it. Let's rewind the clock to 1978. Disco was king, gas was cheap, and the Lincoln penny was quietly doing its thing. Now, the Lincoln Memorial design had been introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday, replacing the wheat penny die in 1978. The U.S. Mint produced over 5.5 billion pennies. Most were made in Philadelphia and Denver. Here's the trick though: coins minted in Philadelphia during that era didn't carry a mint mark. So when we say 1978 no mint mark, we're talking about Philadelphia pennies. That's the mystery we're about to uncover. The vast majority of 1978 pennies are only worth face value. Maybe a few cents more if they're in uncirculated condition. But there's a handful, literally, a tiny handful, that have something extraordinary going on. We're talking about error coins. One-of-a-kind minting mistakes. Double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, you name it. One of the most valuable 1978 pennies ever found had a stunning double die obverse. That means the image of Lincoln's face, the date, and the phrase, "In God We Trust," all appear slightly doubled, giving it a 3D-like effect. It's rare, it's dramatic, and collectors will pay top dollar for it. Another ultra-rare version had a composition anomaly, meaning it was struck on the wrong kind of metal planchet. Instead of the usual copper, it had traces of silver and nickel. And then, there's the mystery penny. The one that's become a legend among numismatists. Authenticated, graded in near perfect condition, no mint mark, no damage, no alterations, just a stunning, natural mint error that makes it a unicorn in the coin world. This particular coin fetched offers up to $1.8 million. Why? Because rarity, condition, and historical curiosity collided to create a once-in-a-generation collectible. What if I told you that even coins that looked normal at first glance could secretly be the valuable ones? Coming up next, I'll tell you the exact traits to look for and how one collector almost threw his $1 million penny in the trash. Stay with me. You don't want to miss this. First, grab a magnifying glass. We're going old school here, the front of the coin. Look closely at Lincoln's eye, his chin, the words liberty and "In God We Trust." If you see doubling, like a shadow effect, you might have a double-die penny. Then check the date. If the 1, 9, 7, and 8 look slightly overlapped or distorted, you're definitely onto something. Now flip to the reverse. That's the Lincoln Memorial. Look at the columns, the word 1 cent, and United States of America. Doubling or shifting? That's another good sign. Check the weight too. A standard 1978 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours weighs differently, say 2.5 grams or over 3.5, there could be a metal mix-up or striking error, both of which can skyrocket the value. And here's a secret tip: sometimes it's not the visible errors that matter most, but the story of how it was minted. Some coins are struck on leftover planchets from foreign coin productions or experimental batches. Those are like winning the coin lottery. Now let me tell you a story that still blows my mind. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was cleaning out his dad's garage after he passed. Among the dusty baseball cards, old tools, and yellowed newspapers, he found a jar filled with pennies. Hundreds of them. He almost threw the whole thing out. But something told him to take a closer look. He started Googling coin values, checking dates, squinting at details. When he got to one particular 1978 penny, he paused. No mint mark. Weird doubling. A silvery tint. He sent it off to get graded. Fast forward 2 months. Graded MS67, extremely rare metal composition, authenticated double die burst. Life-changing. And the jar almost ended up in a dumpster. You never know what treasures you're sitting on right now. The highest confirmed sale value for one of these rare 1978 no mint mark Lincoln pennies is around $1.8 million. But don't think that's the ceiling. As more collectors get involved, the demand for these rare variations is skyrocketing. Even a lesser-grade error penny from 1978 could fetch you hundreds, even thousands. The world of rare coins is booming. And with inflation and economic uncertainty, hard assets like collectible coins are becoming hot commodities. If you find one and get it authenticated and graded, you could be holding the next record-breaking sale. When was the last time you checked your change jar? Your junk drawer? That box in the attic your grandfather swore had something valuable? You might be one lucky find away from becoming a millionaire. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of copper. It's history, mystery, and fortune all rolled into one. Start looking. You might just find the coin that changes everything. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or if you've got an old penny story to tell, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because we've got more jaw-dropping coin stories, hidden treasures, and millionaire tips coming your way. Thanks for watching. And remember, your next big payday might be hiding in plain sight, where spare change could turn into spare fortunes. If you've ever flipped a penny across the table or tossed one in a jar thinking it's just another coin, hold on to your seat. Because that little 1997 Lincoln Memorial penny sitting quietly with no mint mark could be the one that flips your life right side up. That's right, one of these rare little beauties recently hit a jaw-dropping market value of $1.90 million. Now, before you run off to raid your old piggy banks or sweep under the couch cushions, stick with me. Over the next half hour, I'm going to break down exactly what makes this penny so special, how you can tell if you have one, and most importantly, why collectors are ready to drop nearly $2 million on a coin most people overlook every day. Don't blink, because just when you think it's all about a small detail, We're going to uncover a twist that makes this penny even rarer than you thought. Let's rewind a bit to 1997. Bill Clinton was in the White House, Titanic was dominating the box office, and gas was just over $1 a gallon. It was a time before smartphones and digital wallets, when people actually paid for things with physical coins. In that year, the United States Mint pumped out hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. Now, most of those pennies have the little D or S mint mark, showing they came from Denver or San Francisco. But there's a mysterious handful that didn't carry any mint mark at all. You might be thinking, so what? Isn't a missing mint mark just a printing error? And you'd be half right, but this isn't just any minting mistake. It's a specific combination of die, strike, and condition that make this coin more of a treasure map than a monetary unit. We'll get into the features that make it valuable in just a moment, but first, let me share a quick personal story about a buddy of mine named Carl. Carl's a retired mailman. Every Friday, he'd head to his local diner, order a coffee and a slice of pie, and pay in cash real coins and bills. One day, he noticed a penny with no mint mark, but instead of tossing it in the tip jar, he pocketed it. Guess what? Carl had it appraised 6 months later, and it turned out to be a rare variant of the 1997 no mint mark penny. Today, Carl's sipping margaritas in Florida. That's no joke. First up, the mint mark. Or rather, the absence of one. The 1997 penny should have had a D if it came from Denver. If you have a coin with no mint mark at all, it likely came from the Philadelphia Mint, but not all of them are valuable. The $1 million ones are special due to a rare die variety or strike error. Next, we're looking at die errors. Some of these no mint mark 1997 pennies have what's called a double die or off-center strike. Imagine Lincoln's face looking like it had a little too much coffee, slightly shifted, doubled, or misaligned. That's not damage from wear and tear, that's a manufacturing glitch, and collectors eat that up. Another thing to watch for is the condition, also known as the coin's grade. A coin that's never been in circulation, with its shine intact and details crisp, is called mint state. An MS-65 or above 1997 no mint mark penny with one of these rare errors? That's where the $1 million magic begins. You won't believe where one of these coins was found. And trust me, it wasn't in a bank vault or collector's album. But more on that in a moment. Let's talk numbers. One verified 1997 no mint mark penny in pristine mint condition, with a documented double die error, was auctioned at a private coin collector's event for a record $1.9 million. The buyer? A private investor from Texas who's been collecting for over 40 years. And now, here's where things get interesting. The majority of 1997 pennies aren't even worth more than a cent. But the right one, in the right condition, with the right error, that's what separates pocket change from life-changing wealth. One of these coins was actually found in the change drawer of an old vending machine at a car wash in Iowa. The machine hadn't been emptied in years, and the owner just happened to check every coin one afternoon. Boom! That one coin changed his life forever. So now you're probably itching to start checking your penny jar. Here's how to do it right. Step 1. Find your 1997 pennies. Flip them over and check for the absence of a mint mark, usually under the date on the front of the coin. Step 2. Get a magnifying glass, preferably a jeweler's loupe with 10x magnification. Examine Lincoln's face, jacket, and the lettering closely. Look for doubling, off-center elements, or unusually thick or blurry fonts. Step 3. Check the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial. Some rare ones have alignment issues or shadow doubling on the columns or wording. Step 4. If you think you've got something unusual, don't rush to sell. Take it to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade certification is what separates a $1 coin from a $1.9 million treasure. Because coming up, I'm going to tell you how to avoid getting scammed by fake versions of this coin. You'd be shocked how often that happens. Unfortunately, where there's big money, there are also bad actors. Counterfeiters try to mimic the 1997 no mint mark penny by sanding off the D or creating fake errors. These copies can fool the average person but not an expert. If you think you've struck gold, don't just list your coin on eBay and hope for the best. Have it authenticated. Certified coins are listed in registries and databases, and serious collectors won't touch one without proof. Also, steer clear of YouTube or TikTok sellers offering rare coins in bulk. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And now let me leave you with this: that ordinary looking penny sitting at the bottom of your drawer could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your retirement fund. And all it takes is a few minutes and a sharp eye to find it. Every coin has a story, and some telltales of fortune waiting to be found. If you're 30 or 70, retired or still hustling, this is the time to look at your change not as spare, but as a possible spark that could light up your financial future. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got more coin hunting stories, value breakdowns, and expert tips coming up that'll help you dig up treasure in the most unexpected places. Check your pockets. You might just be holding a $1.9 million mystery in the palm of your hand. Hey fellas, don't even think about checking your couch cushions just yet, because what I'm about to tell you might just turn your average penny jar into a full-blown treasure chest. Today we're diving deep into a coin that's causing quite the storm in the numismatic world. We're talking about the 2017 P Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny. Yep, the one you probably tossed in your glove compartment. You might want to grab a flashlight and your bifocals, because this little copper-colored coin could be worth up to $1 million. That's not a typo. $1 million for a penny you may have in your pocket right now. Before you sprint to the junk drawer, you'll want to know why this coin is so valuable. Stick around because we're breaking down the secrets, the errors, the collector's obsession, and a personal story that'll have you looking at pennies in a whole new light. Alright, let's set the stage. 2017 was no ordinary year in the world of US coinage. It marked the very first time in history that the Philadelphia Mint decided to stamp a P Mint mark on the humble Lincoln penny. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, but to collectors, this was a game changer. For over a century, Philadelphia had silently minted coins without a mint mark. Suddenly, in 2017, the P showed up like a surprise guest at Thanksgiving dinner. Turns out, it was to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the US Mint. They didn't make a big fuss about it at first, but when collectors started noticing, the demand exploded. That small piece suddenly became one of the most talked about letters in the coin world. Some of these 2017 P pennies didn't just stop at having a cool mint mark. Some had striking errors, unusual finishes, and even doubling that sent prices through the roof. Here's where things get juicy. Most 2017 P pennies are worth face value, sure. But a rare handful are breaking the bank. We're talking misstrikes, double dies, off-center prints, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. One coin had a misaligned die that made Lincoln's face look like he was peeking out of the edge of the coin, and collectors went nuts. That bad boy sold for over $120,000 at auction. And the buzz around these pennies only grew stronger. Then came a shocker, an ultra-rare variety of the 2017 P penny with a nearly flawless strike, combined with a unique copper zinc alloy error, went under the hammer and fetched $1 million. That's right. A penny. 1-cent millionaire-maker.so, what's the secret sauce here? A mix of scarcity, a historical mint change, collector demand, and some dramatic minting mishaps, but we're not done yet. Let me tell you a little story, because this next part might hit close to home. A few years back, I visited my Uncle Joe. He's the classic type, flannel shirts, coffee always brewing, and a giant jar of coins in his kitchen that nobody dared touch. One afternoon, while we were chatting about old cars and gas prices from the 70s, I reached into that jar just to fidget with the change. Out popped a shiny 2017 penny with a P on it. I said, "Hey, this looks different." He shrugged, said, "Probably nothing." Fast forward to last year, I was watching a coin auction online, and bam, there it was. A 2017 P penny identical to the one I found in that jar, selling for $45,000. I called Uncle Joe so fast, I almost dropped the phone. He laughed and said, "Well, it's still in that jar somewhere." Now every time I visit, we dump that jar like we're mining for gold. That penny could be closer than you think. Literally in your home, your truck, or inside an old coffee can. You haven't opened since the early 2000s. Check for the P Mint mark on the obverse, just under the year 2017. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face, "In God We Trust," or Liberty. Watch for any off-center strikes. Even 5% off can increase value. Inspect for planchet errors, coins struck on the wrong metal. Use a magnifier. The devil's in the details, gentlemen. Now, here comes the cliffhanger. There are reports of yet undiscovered varieties of the 2017 P penny out in circulation right now. That's right. Collectors believe there's still at least one ultra-rare misstrike that hasn't been found yet. Let's talk money. The coin market in 2025 is hotter than ever. People are ditching stocks for silver and chasing rare coins like it's the gold rush. The 2017 P penny is on every collector's radar, especially because so many were hoarded when the mint mark was discovered. Those who saved rolls of them are now sitting on gold mines. Auction houses are offering 5, 6, and even 7-figure payouts for pristine or era-rich coins. And these aren't just museum pieces, these are coins that were sitting in drawers, backpacks, and laundry machines across the country. This market's not slowing down anytime soon. If anything, prices are climbing, and rare finds are fetching record-breaking amounts. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab that coffee can, that shoebox under the bed, that glove box full of coins, and start looking. The 2017 Mint Mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to turn you into a millionaire. Don't let it be someone else who finds it and walks away rich. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning about coins that could change your life, smash that subscribe button like you're striking gold. Drop a comment if you've got a 2017 penny or if you've ever found something valuable in your pocket change. I'll be back with more coins to look for, real stories from collectors, and how you can start building your own $1 million collection from the change in your couch cushions. Stay sharp, stay curious, and always check your change. Hey folks, imagine this. You're sitting at the kitchen table, sipping your morning coffee, flipping through your loose change pile from yesterday's errands. There it is. A brownish red penny. Worn. Old. You're thinking, just another useless cent. But what if I told you that same penny, if it's a 1960 Mint Mark Lincoln cent, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah. You heard me right. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked treasures in American pocket change history. The 1960 Lincoln Memorial Penny. A coin that might just be lying at the bottom of your junk drawer or in that old coin jar your granddad gave you. This video will cover what makes this coin so rare, how to identify it, why collectors are obsessed with it, and how you might already own one without even realizing it. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end, because the story behind this coin's value includes a mistake at the US Mint that turned a common penny into a millionaire's dream. Let's rewind the clock to 1960. Eisenhower was president, the US was knee-deep in the space race, and the American economy was booming. But at the Denver Mint, something curious happened. The Lincoln Memorial penny struck that year wasn't as innocent as it seemed. In 1960, the US Mint released two variations of the penny, a large date and a small date version. Now here's where it gets good. These variations weren't just random design choices. They were the result of die alterations, essentially, last-minute tweaks to the date on the coin's die before full production began. And for the Denver Mint specifically, a limited batch of small date pennies somehow slipped through, even though the large date version was intended to be standard. And now, if you're asking why that matters, buckle up. Because the small date 1960 penny is one of the rarest modern-era pennies in circulation today. At first glance, they look the same. But numismatists, or coin collectors if we're speaking plain English, know better. The difference between the large and small date is in the height and thickness of the numbers. In the small date version, the number 6 curves more smoothly, the top of the 1 is aligned with the 9 and 0, and the overall date looks tighter, almost squished together. If you're squinting at your pennies right now, you're doing the right thing. Here's the kicker. The small date variation was already rare. But combine that with an early die state, a deep red original luster, and virtually no wear, and suddenly, we're talking serious cash. We're talking auction houses, wealthy collectors, and bidding wars that climb into 6 and even 7 figures. Well, the most famous specimen of the 1960 small date penny was discovered in nearly perfect condition. Red-brown finish, no handling marks, perfect centering. It was graded MS67 plus RD by a top-tier coin grading company. Now let me explain what that means. In coin collecting, coins are graded on a 70-point scale. The closer to 70, the more perfect the coin. MS67 plus is nearly flawless. That alone makes a coin rare. But combine it with the small date, the Mint mark, and the historical intrigue? Boom! You've got a $1.1 million penny. It's been featured in coin expos, private collections, and magazine covers. It's been discussed in hushed tones among dealers for years. And its story is what brings us here today. Well, in the world of numismatics, rarity is everything. Think of it like baseball cards. A card might be worth $5 unless it's a rare misprint rookie card in mint condition, then it's suddenly worth hundreds of thousands. Same with coins. The 1960 penny wasn't just a production run, it was a printing mistake, a rare variation, a survivor. The trifecta. The coin market is booming. As more collectors jump in, the demand for rare and well-preserved coins is through the roof. And when demand rises, so does the price, which brings me to the next part. Don't go empty your piggy bank just yet, but you should definitely check your change jar. Look for the 1960 penny. Flip it. Check for the D mint mark, the tiny letter just below the date. Then compare the date to online images of the large versus small date. If yours looks compressed, like the numbers are hugging each other, and the 6 has a smaller loop, you might have something special. Take your penny to a local coin dealer. Or better yet, send it to a professional grading service. If you're lucky and it comes back MS66 or higher, you could be looking at 5, 6, maybe even 7 figures. It gets better. What if your 1960D penny not only has the small date, but also a minting error? Now we're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These can send the value into the stratosphere. There's a documented 1960D small date with a dramatic doubled die reverse. Only a handful are known. One sold at auction for over $350,000, and that was years ago. Imagine what it could fetch now. My grandfather had this big glass jar in his garage full of coins. For years, I'd walk past it and never think twice. One summer, during a heat wave, I got bored and decided to sort through it. I was 12. I had no idea what I was looking at. Fast forward to last year. I was cleaning out that same garage, now mine. And I found the jar again. One by one, I started picking out the older pennies. I saw a 1960D and almost tossed it aside. But I remembered something from a coin show I'd seen on TV. Small date. D mint mark. Turns out it wasn't the $1 million one, but it was worth about $650. Not bad for something that sat in a jar for 50 years, and that's why this video matters. Because you never know what you've got until you look. The 1960D small date Lincoln Memorial penny is more than just copper and zinc. It's a story. It's a mystery. And for some lucky collector, it's a golden ticket. Maybe it's sitting in your drawer. Maybe it's already passed through your hands. But now, you know what to look for. And knowledge is the first step to treasure. If you enjoyed this journey through coin history, and want more videos just like this, deep dives into coins that could make you rich, tips on what to collect, and stories that prove treasure is hiding in plain sight, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video. We're talking about a 1982 penny worth nearly $2 million. You won't want to miss it.